Welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. Let me check my settings real quick to make sure that I'm recording and that you guys can hear. Okay, there's the microphone, there's the camera. All right, everybody. So once again, welcome home, Bitcoin truth seekers. It is an interesting weekend. Let's check out what's going on. As always, BitcoinDailyView.com got more for you there. Looking at Bitcoin volume last 24 hours, we are down from yesterday, so we're at 7.7 billion. Definitely slowing down in volume, trading volume. For the weekend, down 17% since yesterday, and that's fine because it's kind of expected. All right, looking at longs versus shorts right now here on the hourly chart. Definitely some shorts got wrecked when it pumped a couple hours ago, but this is a pretty common pattern. It's kind of a V shape, you know. Oftentimes you see the BART shape. It's kind of a V shape. We'll look at this a little bit closer in a second, but really last night when it started moving up, I was definitely seeing some huge buys come in. So definitely I've been watching some big money on the buy side of things. People are selling, of course, and but all the same, definitely when this started moving up a couple like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 8, 9 hours ago, definitely some shorts were getting wrecked, and I was just watching these multi-million-dollar buys come in, and boom. And that's just what we can see, you know. So anyway, looking at longs versus shorts for Bitcoin, 53% long, 46% short on Binance. That's kind of indecisive, really. But looking at Ethereum, 71% long, 28% short. Definitely some riz around Ethereum. All right, looking at the spot trading volume on the top 20 exchanges, it's all in the green right now, except for Bitfinex, Bitfinex. In general, this is kind of good. Volume is slowing for Bitcoin trading. I imagine the spots is probably slowing, but we're still showing green going into the weekend. This is interesting. I think we might see some action this weekend, especially with Bitcoin's recent move. Live Bitcoin charts will not. It's kind of having trouble loading today, but we're at 63,826 for Bitcoin. Looking at some of the top 100 alts, we're seeing some beautiful movement. Dogecoin up 19%. Yes. And I'll skip over Floki, a rather cool project as well, up 16%. So we're seeing some wonderful stuff going on. Let's look at Doge and Floki before we check out. And I think Doge, for those who are casual traders, not using VPNs and stuff, you can get Doge, I do believe, on Coinbase. We'll check that out before we check out up here. Now, this is Bitcoin. Looking at Bitcoin here on the 45-minute chart, what happened yesterday or so is really great. We got a move here. We broke the 200 moving average. We broke the 314 moving average above that. And now we're seeing some nice sideways motion. So this is a good thing. Directional index is in the green. ADX is looking good. Squeeze indicator is looking good. We had a real pump in volume to push it up. It's kind of trailed off a little bit. Looking at the so this immediate price action is really, really good. I also find that the 2-hour chart is very good to look at. 2-hour chart, we broke above the 200 moving average. We wicked to the 314. We're losing some momentum. We've definitely got directional index and ADX looking good. Squeeze indicators looking good. But it looks like we probably are going to just wick to and bounce off that 314 moving average there on top. As you can see, we've made moves somewhat similar to this before. We didn't quite make it above that 314 moving average. But you know what? The day is still young, so we don't really know exactly what's going to happen. Let's fire up this chart here on the daily. One thing about the daily chart here, looking at Bitcoin, that is, well, I'll just call it, I won't look at it as positive or negative, but just kind of is what it is. I am seeing sort of a downwards channel here, and we're seeing here you've got your you're gonna start here, you've got a lower low, and you kind of had like a higher low, but now you're back on that lower low. So, and of course you had a higher high. And of course, another higher high. Well, actually, no, you had a lower high. Then you went back to a higher high. But in general, we've just been trending down since then. So, not a lot of real mojo here on the daily chart. But also look at this, the daily MACD, sharp move there for the MACD towards the signal, and we're down here in this beautiful. Below the heartbeat here, and this is where the change in momentum can make a huge difference, same as it does when it's above. So if we can get a break of that MACD across the signal, and this histogram, as you can see here, is moving in the right direction, this is where you could definitely see some explosive action going on. So I know that a lot of just, algorithmic trading is going to start buying when that daily MACD starts to look like it's going to turn positive, especially looking where it is. As you can see kind of back here, you can see where we had a similar cross here compared to here. And then, look what happened. You started this wonderful, run up here. And are we going to see that happen here? Kind of interesting. Definitely a possibility. Let's pull this into a, let me get rid of the MACD down there. Let's do a 3-day chart so we can pull in lots of time. Yeah, 3-day chart. Let's pull that in, squeeze it in there. Okay, now I'm going to go way back to, March of 2020 when we were visiting the 3K range. Let's start there. Wow, and you kind of have to go past our, well, how about this? Let's look at it like this first. I'm just going to make the top of it the previous high for Bitcoin. We basically, hit that high, found some resistance, and now we're retracing a bit. And it kind of puts it into, some perspective there. So, we attacked that recent high. Well, not recent high. That was back in November of 2021. But still, we got there. And this is interesting. If you look at this, like, if you go way out, you could kind of see it like this. You could see, here's your high, here's a higher high, here's a higher high. If you want to get way out there and see it that way, that makes sense too. So, but if we must, we could adjust the MACD. I'm sorry about that. We could adjust the MACD here and to that new high. But for just a moment, I'm going to refrain from doing that. And let's just look at it like this. And it just makes sense. So we attacked that high, got over it. Now we're retracing some, and that would make sense. But it's still a higher high. So we definitely could see some serious retrace action after that. We could go back down to, the the .382 fib level is very, very prominent here. The .5 is very prominent. But all the same, we have predictable places that we could retrace to. Wouldn't surprise me if we did like a retrace to the .236, and that's like 53,560. It definitely would be a respectable place to retrace to, but no guarantee that we will. So let's just see what happens. I'm going to go back to, say, this view here. And now let's look at the 2-hour MACD. Definitely, I think, could give us a hint of what's going on this weekend. And as you can see, the daily is looking pretty good, but the 2 hours beginning to roll over. So we're kind of in no man's land. I definitely would say that, watching that 2-hour chart, if we can get above that 2-hour 314, I think we definitely would be in business. Let me make sure that's actually a 314 and not something else. Yeah, it's 314. Anyways, everybody, that's what we're seeing. We'll have to just give it some time and see what happens. But definitely the alt market is starting to get a little bit perky with Bitcoin's recent move. If we just look at the perspective of the 45-minute chart, which you could also look at from, you can look at it in hourly chart, since that's what most people tend to look at. On the hourly, you're above the 200 and the 314. You're looking good. This is a 9-second chart. It's all about, can we hold this, and will we start moving up from here? If we do, great. Also, you could also, if you were to do a little bit of creative channel creation, you can kind of see where we've done something that is oftentimes, I think, pretty powerful, is where you have your nice little upwards channel going on. So we had our beautiful upwards channel. We broke above it. We're coming back and probably going to find support on it. And where's that? Where's this 314? It's right there at the top of the channel. So I definitely could see that. Or the 200 moving average is right here on the hourly chart, right there in the heartbeat of the channel. So definitely, I think we are in really great balanced territory. I think I have a sneaking suspicion that we'll probably find something like this happen, and we're going to make the top of this channel now basically the bottom of the next. So I like it. I like what I'm seeing. Now let's look at, let me go back to all the crazy indicators here. Let's look at Doge, because Doge is making some serious moves. Doge USD. Let's just look at Doge USD on Coinbase, since everyone can get in on that if they wanted to. Doge, beautiful run up, looking good here on the 45-minute chart. Probably beginning to give a little bit back. It was pushing hard. Massive volume came into Doge. Wow. Looks like a big kind of pump and dump scheme to me, actually. But all the same, it's looking good. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, look at that. Doge moved up, hit the 200 moving average, wicked above it, and the 314. Now it's kind of getting a rejection there. But the indicators look like we might just be getting started. So definitely Doge is what I'm going to be watching, because I'll tell you what, on the 4-hour chart, if it can break above that 200, make support, and then keep moving, that could actually be pretty darn, wonderful. And if we can, let's say, if we can find an angle to do a Fibonacci sequence here, where can we do that? Let's do it like right about, let's do it right. I'm going to do it right here, Fibonacci sequence. Let's just go, I shouldn't think about it too much. Let's just go here. Okay, I'm going to go right where this beautiful upwards movement happened. Okay, so that fits well enough. So it does look like, we're breaking above that 0.5 fib. The 382 is a bit of a challenge, especially when you're hitting that 200 moving average and that 314. So I would definitely be watching Doge. I mean, I think if it can just find some testosterone and get above that 200, that 4-hour 200 moving average and find support, I think definitely this guy could just start, making a run. I mean, I tell you what, if I was in it and I was in the green, I wouldn't be selling. I'd probably I'd keep moving up a limit, a sell. But this would be a great moment if you were in a while ago and you were just riding a trailing take profit. I just let it either keep making money for me or just wait for it to sell on me, Floki, USD, where can you get it? USDT. On Binance and Gate.io and MEXC and KuCoin. Okay, let's look at it on KuCoin. Floki, how interesting. On the 4-hour chart, you see Floki, well, just basically it went and it went to a previous high and then got rejected. It also on the 4-hour got above the 200 moving average and then it hit the 314, got rejected. So we're beginning to see a little bit of like a smackdown as we enter the weekend. But you know what? I'm hanging out. I got a good feeling. I do. Yeah, let's look at BTC USD one more time here on Coinbase on the 4-hour chart. Because one thing I noticed was Bitcoin here on the 4-hour chart. If we look at that, one of the things that I'm seeing is it's moving up, and of course it's got to get above that 4-hour 200 moving average. And what I'm kind of doing here on the I'm going to be watching. I bought a little bit, just my like weekly buy when it started making this strong move. But if I was to put an alert in right now, I would put an alert in for the 4-hour crossing the 200 moving average is what I got right there. Because if that happens, I want to see what's going on in the market and the world. That's quite interesting. And that's what we'll look at here. One more thing that we're going to do is let's fire this up. Oh, wrong chart. Oh, what's cool looking one. And also I'm going to be using some more indicators, some more views that will look at things, kind of like the blockchain education group that you can find over here. Just go to the site here, the Bitcoin Daily View, or in the description, and click on this. You get a nice little discount there. I don't make any money off of it. I just like it. It's a team that I've been hanging out with, playing for the big win for quite a while. And like I mentioned this weekend, is it Lambo or is it Lada? I don't know. I like Ladas. I like them both. I think Lada's a very stout-looking, proud car. I'd love to have a Lada. Put like a 327 Chevy small block in there, 4-speed transmission, little 411 rear end, and anyway, that would be just psycho, wouldn't it? Anyway, and I think it could bring world peace. Nice Chevrolet, high-performance, classic 327. In that thing, little hood scoop, very fashionable, not too goofy looking, just so it would fit in there. And then, like the 327 and the Lada coming together to make really kind of like a Russian American version of the Chevy 2 Nova. Like, tell you what, I mean, right there, all the problems in the world will be erased just like that. And at the opening, like when that car is released, Metallica could play, and a Led Zeppelin reunion, boom. Anyway, so Zero Hedge, here they did this thing, the great crypto versus gold debate. I'll like this, and I'm going to like share this, and I will link to this here. Let me actually get rid of all this. Can I make this a little? I hate these dumbass long URLs that get generated. Okay, let me actually take this right here, and I will put it in the live chat here, so you guys can see it. Try to comment it too. I myself, I'm not going to get you. I'm not going to watch it. I find this just dreadfully damn boring. I don't care what Peter Schiff has to say. To be honest with you, you can check out the Radiant Creators podcast. Let me actually let that pull up while we're talking here. For some amazing gold advice, or like a not advice, but amazing look at like the state of the world and metals and Bitcoin and stuff like that. Not financial advice, but a great chat we had recently on Radiant Creators. And actually, let me just go to YouTube and let me go Radiant Creators. This guy here, Andy Schuckman. This is an amazing interview that we did recently. I will share this as well. Who cares what Peter Schiff has to say? I think this guy knows a lot more about what's going on in the world, if you ask me personally. And I'll share these over at Blockchain Education too, and I'll try to comment these. They're pretty darn good. Give up on Radiant Creators coming up. It's the slowest site on earth. They're going to find a better place to host that. But if we do one more little view into Trading View, let's look at the big picture of the economy here. Let's look at DXY. All right, DXY. Let's go to a daily. I know it's weekend. It kind of messes. It kind of skews all this. Let me nix all the drawings I have here. Get rid of the MACD. It's not so relevant for this stuff. And let's look at a few things real quick before we check out of here. Let me get rid of all that mess there too. So with that said, DXY towards the end of this week, definitely taking a massive dump. Maybe even going to get below the 200 moving average on the daily. We'll see what happens. But dollar strength index getting ass hammered. Not exactly sure why. Possibly reality. That could definitely screw over the DXY strength, but all the same. Looking at crude oil, taking a big dump here. And the one that I use is just U.S. oil for that. So per barrel, I can understand the dollar strength index dumping. I don't see why oil prices will be going down. That makes no sense. That is insane manipulation. We'll see what happens. If we do look, it is at a previous area of interest, as I would call it, right about here. Bonk. Definitely a place where it could bounce. We'll see what happens, but I don't buy that oil crude is going down. No, that's stupid. That's manipulation. Something weird is going on. Bottom left-hand corner here is gold. I think we're seeing gold weaken a little bit. Then right next to it, bottom right-hand corner, you see silver is weakening a little bit. We're going to see what happens. It's very unusual on the daily charts here to have seen the dollar dumping so hard and oil for some reason dumping hard. Who knows? I don't get it. Manipulation. But to see gold and silver not reacting positively to that is a bit strange. Of course, we did see, Bitcoin, I would say, react, positively to that. I'm going to look at a daily chart and you can see that it did. So that makes sense. Hold tight, everybody, because really we are possibly seeing that daily MACD cross towards the positive for Bitcoin. I think that will put it into pure Lambo land. And some of these alts that have been very, very sparky are definitely going to be something of interest. I'm definitely going to I'm going to watch Doge and Floki. I think those two might be good players. So Lambo weekend or Lada weekend. I honestly will take both. I think Ladas are badass. Once again, the zero hedge thing here, I shared it. I may listen to it. I just don't care what these old farts for the most part have to say. I think Andy Schuckman is a lot more of value to listen to, and you can check him out on Radiant Creators there. I'll put that link. Anyway, other than that, was there anything else? No. I made a real kind of commitment to be here every damn day till the end of the month to see if I can make a habit of doing these and make these better. And so, Comment, let me know what you think. I will do my best to if you catch this live, I'll chart anything you throw out, no matter what it is. Well, as long as it's legal, I will chart it. And with that said, everybody take care, and I'll be talking to you soon.